Na, na, na. Oh, it seems there's an error. Oh, now we're live. Hey guys, what's going on? But apparently, aside from a little few hiccups, hashtag net neutrality in this internet stuff and things, today we're going to talk about fiduciary duty. This came up on a conversation when I was speaking with my father, Mr. Memes, the other day. It's like, I think this might explain a lot. What is this fiduciary duty, you say? As we can see here, when somebody has a fiduciary duty to someone else, the person with the duty must act in a way that will benefit someone else, usually financially. The person who has a fiduciary duty is called the fiduciary, and the person to whom the duty is owed is called the principal or the beneficiary. And that's brought to us by the Fiduciary Duty, OX law, which we have the link over here, and it's provided by the Google's Fiduciary Duty in Congress. Yep, as we can see here, a relentless grievance. Oh no, the Wall Street Journal. I need to pay money to get information. Well, I guess we'll just have to go by what everyone else is saying. Here's the intro.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Hey guys, what's going on? Memes here. So as we can see right here, when we click the link, we get legal information from Cornell Law School. That seems to be a decent source, no? It's got an EDU in it, right? So fiduciary duty. As we can see, usually financially, blah, blah, blah. Corporations and fiduciary duties. Directors of corporations in fulfilling their managerial responsibilities are charged with certain fiduciary duties. The primary duties are the duty of care and the duty of loyalty. The duty of care requires that directors inform themselves prior to making business decisions of all material information reasonably available to them. Whether directors were informed of all material information depends on the quality of the information, the advice available, and whether the directors had sufficient opportunity to acquire knowledge concerning the problem before action. Moreover, a director may not simply accept the information presented. Rather, the director must assess the information with a critical eye so as to protect the interests of the corporations and its stockholders. Yes, as we can see there, we'll take a little pause again. This is publicly available on the internet, but we need to add our commentary because this is what we need to do. So all I know right now is we're just going to continue on. The duty of loyalty means that all directors and officers of a corporation working in their capacities as corporate fiduciaries must act without personal economic conflict. As the Delaware Supreme Court explained in Gold versus Loft, 5A, second, 503, 510, Delaware, 19. We've got the links in below. Corporate officers and directors are not permitted to use their position of trust and confidence to further their private interests. Duty of good faith. Under the duty of good faith, the corporation's directors and officers must advance the interests of the corporation and must fulfill their duties without violating the law. So, okay, we'll abridge this just a bit because, and again, it's been a while since I did an internship at a mutual fund operation. Now, from what I remember, and this does not constitute any financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But as far as I understand it, fiduciary duty from the executives of the corporation is to maximize the return on investment to their shareholders. We incorporate that into our model. Don't things make a lot of sense? Oh my God, they're doing this thing. What happened? Oh, well, we're not a big fan of what Disney's doing here. Okay, oh, hey, there's a plague. Oh, like 30,000, maybe 40,000 workers lose their jobs because, hey, you might not necessarily like everything a company does, but you are employing a lot of folks. Because remember, that seems to be a criticism of perhaps some of the folks you happen to be more fans of. I can't think of any right now. I totally can. I'm not going to say it. Not at this moment. But as we pop back over here, as we can see, Congress abrogates its fiduciary duty. Brought to us by investmentnews.com. Take it for what it's worth. Public officials in all branches of government have a fiduciary duty to citizens of the United States. Do they? Public officials in all branches of government have a fiduciary duty to the citizens of the United States. That is the proper context for how we should judge the decisions making by our elected and appointed officials in everything they do. I just heard the word should. I heard the word should. And again, cursory Google search result, you're like, when you type in fiduciary duty and Congress, I don't know. I hear people referring to it. I think I clicked on some news things, as we can see from Core. Dana H. Schultz, citizen of the USA, my entire life, now retired lawyer. According to retired attorney Schultz, the oath of office taken by members of Congress does not establish a fiduciary duty. It merely requires supporting the Constitution of the United States, as explained in the relevant Wikipedia entry, oath of office. The Constitution, Article 6, Clause 3 also specifies the senators and representatives before mentioned and the members of the several state legislatures and all executive and judicial offices, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. At the start of each new Congress in January of every odd-numbered year, newly elected or re-elected members of Congress, the entire House of Representatives, and one-third of the Senate must recite an oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I'm about to enter. So help me God. So no, members of Congress cannot be sued for breach of fiduciary duty to the U.S. or its citizens. Just something to consider. Just something to consider, that we basically hold members running our corporations to a higher duty of care, at least when it comes to financial things, than necessarily our representatives. They just need to uphold the Constitution. And again, I'm just saying that, would it not be a fair thing to maybe at least attempt to do, so that, I don't know, you need to investigate things rather than, I don't know, these folks are for this, we're against this, why? Well, we can raise money, do this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, only if we want to try to solve problems. And again, I'm not a political analyst, okay? Maybe I'm kind of a political analyst on this internet stuff and things. Do you need a degree? I have a degree in business, apparently. Yes. I was on the 5-year plan. It's okay. It's temporal, baby. But all I know is, unfortunately, between that and I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to have any formal title or anything like that. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see a senator, Sir Roger Penrose. Sorry, Sir Roger. Happy 90th birthday. I don't think you're going to be a senator of these United States. But as we can see here, public officials as fiduciaries. SCU.edu. It's got one of those EDUs, right? The values behind government ethics law. Hannigan Callahan. Government ethics refers to the unique sets of duties that public officials owe to the public that they serve. These duties arise upon entering the public workforce, either as an elected representative, an appointed official, or a member of government staff. For simplicity's sake, please know that when we refer to public officials, we are referring to all public actors, be they elected, appointed, or hired. Public ethical obligations exist in addition to government to general ethical obligations, and sometimes government ethics may conflict with personal ethical duties. The relationship between public officials and the public has been described by scholars as fiduciary in nature. See, okay, it's been described. Keep this in mind. It's been described. Why isn't it in there? Like, I still remember when like an Apple terms of service I think was under 100 pages. I got up to like page 38, and again, I'm not an attorney, but from what I remember, it's like you has no rights, you has no rights, you has no rights, we has all the rights. It's, okay, could you potentially challenge it? And again, I'm not an attorney. Challenge a particular part of that if you so inclined. Yeah, that's going to cost money, court filings, this, that, and everything. You're talking about $1 billion corporation. Hey, I mean, Apple's got some money. I'm on a Mac right now. It's a good quality product. This one kind of gets a little hot, though. You need to have just constant coolness. However, all I know is you have the situation. It's like, all right, well, there are ways to resolve this, but for the average Sally, Dick, or Jane, it's like, how do you do this? I don't know where you're going to have a class. Why don't we fix the issue? Let's address the issue. What is the issue in this context? Well, it depends on whatever you want it to be. We can argue about anything for pretty much any number of reasons. It's like, why don't we put this in? I don't know. We've got like 100-something page contracts that seemingly nobody reads, but it seems to be the modern means of production. I'm just saying. I think we can figure this thing out. Great things are coming. Be ashamed to destroy ourselves before we get there. I think it's going to be really cool. Hey, peace out, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Be safe. And no matter what happens.
What rolls downstairs over and bears rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's log, log, log.
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.